Hey, Mary here with our Healing Pause, and I'm calling today Funky Friday because I'm in kind of a funk. And I'm sure you all know what that feels like. And so what can I do, or do I need to do anything about being in the funk? Maybe I just need to be in the funk. and But I've been in the funk long enough today, and I really don't want to be in it any longer. I haven't bothered analyzing it because I think analysis is overrated, and I'm a really good at analyzing, something I would in the past pride myself on, but I see that most of the time I may gain insight, but it doesn't actually bring healing. That's just my experience. Yours may be different. So yesterday, Lisa focused on step back, the second step of the 4 decisions, the 4-step pause practice here. And you can download all this for free at pauseforiinspiration.org, the practice cards and the book. And I hope you do that. And she did a really good job covering that step back, that getting out of our own way, which is really the hardest thing to do. When I share this card with people, they look at it and the first thing that pops out to them is, get out of my own way. Oh yeah, I need to do that. And that is, I think, the hardest step for most of us. But today our focus is going to be on step aside. And step aside is the decision to invite inspiration within to help, this inner inspiration that is already fully present and available to us, whether we believe in it or feel it or think it's true or not. None of that really makes any difference. Inspiration doesn't really care whether we believe it's present and available to us. It's just simply a clean, open, pure, loving presence that waits patiently for our attention in the midst of perhaps a funky Friday. So here we are, and you may think, okay, well, yesterday I already stepped back. Now I got to step aside. It's like, yes, you do. Now we step aside, and we basically lay out a welcome mat for this inner inspiration. It is like welcoming this inner guest. Okay, or as I mentioned here, written on the Facebook Live video, your inner groove. You can call it your inner groove. I want to share with you, and we're going to go through just that piece of the practice. So we're not doing all 4 steps today. We're just going to do that step aside because I really want you to get a good handle on what this is. So this is about being willing, and we've talked about willingness before, to receive inspiration. So in order to receive, I need to be open, right, to receiving. I've noticed, for example, sometimes, you've probably noticed this too, you give someone a compliment or you tell them, and it's very genuine. You really mean, wow, you're really creative, or, oh, that was so cool, or something. And you could tell that they just are not receiving it. And this is very common. And I've struggled with this myself, that there's a block there that can keep us from truly receiving this inner inspiration, really taking it in, and letting it have a positive, helpful, loving effect on me. It's like the dry ground receiving the moisture and the wetness of the rain so that it can be fertile. So receiving is real important. So that's a part of this step. And the other part of this step is, what is it that we're receiving? We're receiving inspiration's help. So this inner inspiration, is here to be helpful to us, to inspire us, to encourage us, to give us creative ideas to provide solutions into everyday life problems. It can help in the area of business. It can help in the area of making health decisions, running errands, your priorities for the day. I mean, just absolutely anything. And what it does, this inner inspiration here, it says illuminating the darkness. That's what inner inspiration does. It illuminates the darkness. And this clears up a lot of confusion. For now, you are not rumbling around in your dark closet, falling into the closet, knocking things over, getting hit on the head by junk falling out of the closet, tripping over the stuff, falling at your feet, busting your toe on the edge of the furniture as you walk out with what you are guessing is your white shirt, only to eventually see that you grabbed the wrong shirt. In fact, it's not even a shirt, it's a pajama top. On and on is such a waste of time. So why go into a room that is dark and you need to find, say, this white shirt and you don't turn the light on? So basically, we just forget, right? We forget that we can turn the light on, that we already have this inner light. And we do. You are the light of the world. We already have this inner light. And again, you don't have to believe it. Your belief is not required. I love that part. Okay, so anything else important here from the book? That was on page 24, 23 and 24. I was just getting that from. And so now let's do this. Let's just go through the actual practice of step aside. So maybe there's something on your mind right now that you would like to receive some help about. Maybe you'd like to step aside in order to get back into your inner groove if you're in a funk like I am today, or feeling out of sorts or whatever. You can use this for anything, or maybe you just want to chill out. That works too. So here we go. Step aside, and you can repeat these words to yourself if it's helpful to you. The decision to invite inspiration within to help. So this is laying out the welcome mat for this your inner guest of this inspiration, your inner guest. Welcome. I am willing to receive inspiration. I am willing to receive help. I am willing to receive healing. What are you willing to receive from this inner guest? And here is the action step of step aside. Allow stillness to replace the chatter. Breathe. Allow stillness to replace the mental chatter. Or maybe your body is chattering with aches and pains. Rest in quiet patience. and open to receiving inspiration's help. Open to receiving inspiration's help. And in this pause, put forth your thoughts, questions, or concerns to this inner guest of wisdom. Perhaps just lay those at the feet on the welcome mat of this inner guest. And ask these two questions. Is there another way to see this? Is there another way to see this? And what would be truly helpful now? And now as you continue through the rest of your day, you can choose to be aware of this inner guest and the wisdom and help that it has to share with you about what you asked about. And it could be that other things will show up as well. And these questions may be answered in words, in your mind, in thoughts, in an awareness that could be gradual or sudden. You could even be observing nature or watching something on TV, and suddenly you'll be like, you will see, kind of see beyond the body's eyes. So I encourage you to ask those two questions. Is there another way to see this? And what would be truly helpful now with anything that arises today, whether it seems big or small? And to use this practice as an opportunity for inner listening and the patience required, the practice of patience required to listen and then to follow, which is next time around. We'll do that tomorrow. We'll talk about letting inspiration guide, step 4, and then following the wisdom of this inner guest. So I don't know about you, but I'm out of my funk and I seem to have found my inner groove. So thank you. I'm much happier now, and I hope you are too. Take care.